Okay, I'm going to go up here and change my view. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the T.U.G meeting for Thursday, February 11th. And just to report to those of you who are not in sunny Arizona that it is, in fact, it has been sunny for several days. We won't allow the people from Canada to even talk to us about the temperature up there. That would just be a downer. But we're having pretty good turnout at our meeting. For those of you who can't see, we have about 16 online and about 9 in person. So that's what's happening from sunny Mesa Regal. We have today our good buddy Bob G, who's provided to us through the good auspices of the Avast company that has a great wealth of software. I've used some of their products for a number of years. Bob's come to our group almost every year for as far as I can remember and talked to us about all things security. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Bob, and let you have at it.
Thank you very much. I wish I was there in person because I know it's warmer there than it is here in New Mexico, even though our cold snap isn't going to start until the weekend itself. Let me start by sharing my screen. Just because you have a Zoom presentation or meeting doesn't mean it can't be something that you have a little fun with.
I kid you not.
This is how I have stayed safe through the pandemic. Hope all of you did as well. Actually, my wife and I were lucky enough, we got our first COVID shot yesterday. Question for today is cybersecurity really important? And the answer, of course, is you bet it is. Cybersecurity is important because it encompasses everything that pertains to protecting our sensitive data. And total cybersecurity encompasses protecting data, hardware, and personal security. Understanding the threat vectors. A threat vector is a path or a means by which a cyber criminal gains access through one or more of 6 main routes into a computer system by exploiting a route vulnerability, which is also known as an attack surface. The 6 main routes or points of entry are your network, through the user itself, your email, your applications and programs, remote access portals, and your mobile devices. Network security is a broad term that covers a multitude of technologies, devices, and processes. Simply put, it's a set of rules and configurations designed to protect the integrity, confidentiality, and accessibility of computer networks and data using both software and hardware technologies. Everyone on the internet has to have a degree of network security solutions in place to be protected from the ever-growing cyber threats in the wild today. That protection also needs to be in place for you to secure your home network. 90% of all security incidents are direct caused by PCAC, and ID10T errors. PCAC, the problem exists between the keyboard and the chair. ID10T errors, unfortunately, that's a human frailty. Education and paying attention to details are the best cure for these problems. Here are some common flaws in email scams. The sender is bogus. By hovering your mouse over the sender's address, you can see the real address in the lower left corner of the email. The sender doesn't know your name. If it starts off with "Dear valued member," that's a dead giveaway that this is not a company you do business with. And the only thing you do with that email is to put it in the trash. Hovering over "Click here" shows the URL's destination, and with issue number 1, they always attempt to look legitimate. A threat. The scam goes from apologizing for an inconvenience to threatening the recipient to scare you into responding. More embedded links. The scammer has learned that if they put many links into that email, you're more likely to click on at least one of them. Another favorite ploy is for there to be a link to unsubscribe from the email. While legitimate companies do have unsubscribe features, if you get this message in a scam, clicking the link will likely deliver malware to your computer. Distrust and reason go a long way toward keeping you safe. Some tips to spot email scams. Since many of us now work directly from home, we're being bombarded with employment scams. Be careful. Check out any offers you get. Verify their authenticity. Most of them wind up to be phonies. There is also auction scams, fake messages from online shopping sites. Verify, again, the legitimacy of the site where you are. There are also financial phishing scams, and they'll come from PayPal, from banks you know, and from many other financial institutions. There are also lottery and giveaway scams, foreign lotteries, competitions, free vacation giveaways, all kinds of things. And usually the rule is that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Program and app security. Only download from sites and app stores you trust. Only deal with companies you trust. Never download illegal software, and never use a password generator or a crack to bypass paying for that product. Scan your download for malware. Test the program in a sandbox. And if you really aren't sure about that program, do a backup before you install something new. That way, if it turns out to be something that shouldn't have gotten to your system, you can always go back to that backup that you had created. Remote access portals and open Wi-Fi. It may be free, it may be handy, and sure, it's tempting, but only use it if it doesn't require exposing any sensitive or personal information. For everything else, use a VPN, virtual private network. As I mentioned before, many of us are working from home and job scams are rampant. And these are some things to watch out for. It sounds too good to be true. Vague job requirements and job descriptions, unprofessional emails, online interviews via messaging services, emails don't include contact information, search results don't add up, you're asked to provide confidential information, you're asked to send money or use a personal bank account, and sometimes they want you to pay for something before you're actually hired. And mainly, if your gut tells you it's a scam, it probably is. Those of us involved in tech support have run into many a farmer in the Dell. Cybersecurity is only as strong as its weakest link. Hackers and crooks always exploit the weakest link. Here are some tools to aid in maintaining cybersecurity, and we're going to cover all of them. Updates. Your operating system usually lets you know when it's time to do an update. If you're on a Windows computer, we still have the famous Patch Tuesdays, happen at the beginning of each month. By the way, this month is a very important update because they patched lots and lots of vulnerabilities. Your programs don't always tell you when they need to be updated, and it's just important to keep those up to date. What I use is something called Patch My PC, and the Home Updater version covers over 300 applications and programs and keeps them up to date. The next little video will show you how it works and also tell you why I use it.
Are you sick and tired of those annoying pop-ups reminding you to update some software program on your PC? Let Patch My PC help with the cumbersome task of manually updating your software. We can automatically update over 300 applications. It's critical to keep third-party applications up to date because hackers target vulnerabilities and outdated software in order to compromise your PC. Need to install a new application that's not currently installed? Just select the app, and then it's a single click to start the installation. Are you an IT pro? Easily create a baseline of applications you want to install automatically on multiple PCs. You can even configure Patch My PC to run on a schedule, so you never have to worry about it. Patch My PC, a little program that does a lot. It's simple, easy to use, and best of all, it's free.
It's also important to back up your system on a regular basis. If you're on a Windows computer, you've had a built-in backup program that's been there since version 7. It's called Backup and Restore Windows 7, and it still works on the very latest version of Windows 10. If you're looking for a third party, Acronis is a very popular program, and if you're part of T.U.G, they offer a very attractive discount on that product. I personally have been using Aomi Backupper. I use the standard, which is the free version. And my system every Saturday night gets backed up. That way, if something happens, it's very easy for me to go right back to the last backup and restore my system. And when you do a backup on a regular basis, remember, there's no guarantee on how long your hardware will last. I've had a brand new computer within less than 3 months, the hard drive failed. Without a backup, you can always reinstall your programs and your operating systems, but you tend to lose all of your settings and all of your personal information. So a backup is extremely important. You also need to get familiar with your computer. An excellent program for doing that is called Specie. Learn the ins and outs of your system, both hardware and software. Something to help to make sure that your internet access is always running smoothly. It's called Complete Internet Repair. Whenever I have a problem with my internet access, this is my go-to tool. Provided the problem isn't with the internet service provider, you run this tool, check the top 5 boxes, let it do its work. Once completed, you have to reboot the system. I personally have never ever not had it fix the problem. And I've had to have my backup on my system taken care of with computer problems or with, in this case, internet access problems. One of the other things that you should keep in mind, every once in a while, it's a good idea to totally restart your router. That clears up lots of problems. CCleaner, an excellent program to clean up all the garbage that accumulates when you go on the internet or run any of the programs. CCleaner is a small, effective utility for computers running Microsoft Windows, Mac, and Android devices that cleans out the junk that accumulates over time, such as temporary files, broken shortcuts, and other problems. CCleaner protects your privacy. It cleans your browsing history and temporary internet files, allowing you to be a more confident internet user and less susceptible to identity theft. I personally recommend that you use the portable version. Once downloaded, it comes in a zip format, and then you extract it. And you can even put that on a thumb drive, and you only need to use it once, and you can take it to all the computers. Two excellent programs from a company called Hybit. One of them helps you control your startup programs. And those are the programs that automatically start every time you start your system. This helps you manage those programs, learn more about them. And if it doesn't have to run, it can help you speed up your computer startup. The other program is their uninstaller. This helps you when you uninstall a program to make sure that everything gets uninstalled. Using the function within Windows doesn't always remove everything or every part of a program. This does an excellent job of getting rid of the garbage that Windows usually leaves behind. Let's spend a little time and talk about what will keep you safe and secure. You all know my favorite antivirus program is Avast. I've used it since 2003. Has done an excellent job of keeping my computers safe, secure. It doesn't use a lot of resources, so I actually have a computer that I get to use. And you can see from the listing that it covers many, many items to keep you safe. Actually, the part that protects the computer is the same in the free version as it is in the paid version. The difference between free and paid is not the protection that's offered. It's add-ons like a firewall, spam blocker, and many other goodies. You're paying for the goodies in the paid version. Protection is the same regardless of which version you use. There's also a version available for those of you on a Mac or on an Android device. By the way, there is no third-party antivirus if you're on an iOS device. On an iOS device, if there's a problem with an infection or any other kind of a problem, you wind up getting a patch from Apple, and that's how you stay safe. Avast does offer a product for iOS devices, but it simply makes sure that your privacy and security are kept safe. Avast not only protects you against all forms of malware, it can also help you get rid of unwanted door-to-door salespeople.
Hey, I'm Shay with CDK Security.
Would you mind continuing your sales pitch into my little camera up there? I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'm Shane with CDK Security. We just put in a system for your neighbors down the street that and are sicker for.
Avast tip number 75.
Avast is trusted by over 400 million users and stops 50 million attacks each day. Can you imagine 50 million attacks? I do. Constantly.
Avast currently has over 435 million users worldwide. It's by far the most used antivirus program worldwide. Passwords need to be long and strong, and you should be using a different password for everything that requires a password. And the best way to do that is by using a password manager. Password manager only requires that you remember one password, and that's the password to get into your password manager. Once installed, it can make up passwords for you It will learn your passwords if you fill them in, and from then on will fill the information in for you automatically. You'll see a list here of some of the free and paid password managers. There are many free and paid options. Bitwarden is a good open source cross-platform choice, which means cross-platform. You can use it on Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and it can sync passwords across all those platforms. Let's not forget, it's also available on Linux. I personally have used the free version of LastPass for many years and have been very happy with it. So that's another choice. Public Wi-Fi has gotten safer over the years, but only because they now use HTTPS. For maximum protection on public Wi-Fi networks, a VPN is still recommended. When you use a VPN, you connect to a single VPN server, and all of your system's traffic is routed through an encrypted tunnel to the server. The public Wi-Fi network you're connecting to sees a single connection, your VPN connection, and no one can even see which websites you're connecting to. This is a list of the advantages and some of the disadvantages of using a VPN. A VPN, virtual private network, hides your internet service provider's address. It hides your traffic from your internet service provider. It allows you to pretend to be in another country, a different city, a different state. Some of the disadvantages, it could make your browsing a bit slower. Some websites might even block a known VPN server. Some sites don't work correctly. And the worst part is that some folks, because they're using a VPN and they're hidden, think that makes them invincible. They're not. In most instances, the advantages far exceed the disadvantages, and this holds true for both privacy and security concerns. The VPN that I use comes from Avast. It's called SecureLine. It does an excellent job of hiding my location. It gives me many, many places to choose from. It encrypts everything before it leaves my computer. So if someone intercepts my information, it's totally useless to them because they don't have the key to unlock it. It means it keeps me safe, even though the connection I'm connected to may not be. This, however, is a paid product. If you're looking for something free, it can be as easy as selecting one of these. There are many free VPNs available, but the free ones usually have drawbacks. They may limit the amount of data they'll encrypt. They may limit the amount of places where you can hide your location, and most of them have other drawbacks. They'll have pop-ups. They may not be as reliable as the paid ones. And they have other annoyances. After all, they'd like you to purchase their paid product. Something I use as an extra measure of protection and as a second opinion is called Malwarebytes. Your modern antivirus program not only protects you against viruses, trojans, and rootkits, but also protect you against all other forms of malware. Malware is actually an umbrella term that covers everything that's dangerous to your systems. I personally only run Malwarebytes on an on-demand basis. When I want it to run, that's when I run it. I don't allow it to be resident. Unfortunately, I found Malwarebytes to be a pretty good system hog. Since it really hasn't found anything for me in quite a long time, because as I said, your modern antivirus program also checks for malware. Our passwords, unfortunately, can always get hacked. Even if we're careful, even if we use a strong password, even if we're using a password manager. The site you visit where you have to fill in your information gets hacked, and now your information is in the hands of a hacker. Avast offers a web service called HackCheck, and this is how it works.
Has your password been stolen or hacked? There's an easy way to find out. Use Avast's HackCheck, the service from Avast, to find out and be notified whenever your password is stolen because of a new breach. Even if you are careful and use a strong password, this can still happen to you. The website you use to sign in with your credentials was hacked. When that happened, your information is now in the hands of a cyber crook. Avast can even send you a notification when a new breach affecting you occurs. Simply enter your email address in the address bar, hit the Check Now button. It will show you all of your passwords at different sites that have been compromised and allow you from there to very simply change your password. And the time to change your password is before the hacker does and lock you out of your accounts.
As I said, this is a web service, so it's not a program or an app that needs to be installed. You simply go to the website and everything happens right from there. Avast also offers a secure browser, a browser designed specifically when you do your banking and shopping, because it totally isolates you from everything else. Nothing else can get to what you're doing. This is available for Mac, for Android, for iOS, for Windows. And if you happen to be using this on your Android or iOS device, it even comes with a free VPN built in. If you're on a Mac or on a Windows computer, sorry, that feature is not there. You need as much protection for your mobile devices as you need on your computers. Most of us actually have more personal information on our phones than we have on our computers. So it's extremely important to also protect your smart devices.
What are you downloading?
It's just a game on an app store.
Honey, are you using Avast? It works on your phone too.
It's just a word game. I'm sure it's fine.
Nice work, bub. So I got access to all your data, photos and videos too.
What?
Yeah, this spyware is sick. And I get every photo we take. Insane, right?
No.
We should take some more selfies. The lighting in here is great.
Like I was saying, use Avast for your phone too. It protects you against fake apps, phishing, malware, spyware, and ransomware. Did I mention there's even a free version? Unlike those video games you keep buying. Ugh.
Most mobile device insecurities are a direct result of the apps that we install. Make sure that an app only asks for the permission it requires to perform its task. If it asks for more than what it needs, don't install it. Find a different one. There are many, many apps available, and find one that only asks for what it actually needs to do its job. Verify the reputation of the manufacturer. Read and verify the app's reviews, and only download apps from reputable web stores. Nowadays, it's not only our phones and our computers that need protection, but many of us have lots and lots of Internet of Things devices installed. It could be your Miss A or Mr. G. It could be your doorbell, your thermostat, all kinds of things. And this will give you a pretty good idea why you need protection for more than just your computer, and your smartphone. Is your smart home truly a secure home? IoT devices may make our lives more convenient, but they also make our homes more vulnerable. Miss A, please let any would-be robber know that I'm currently out of town and my home is sitting empty. Mr. G, turn on my webcam sometime today and capture embarrassing video of me without my knowledge. Sounds silly, doesn't it? The truth is, if you aren't thinking about the security of your smart home products, these are the kind of risks to which your home and family might be exposed. There's no denying the appeal of smart home devices, also known as IoT or Internet of Things devices. We're talking about voice assistants like the Amazon Echo or the Google Home, smart TVs, web cameras, lighting controls, thermostats, door locks, heck, even refrigerators, coffee pots, and toothbrushes. Basically, anything with a network connection and an app that lets you remotely monitor and control the devices. The smart home category is booming, and its popularity isn't expected to fade anytime soon. But these devices have a dark side. Their popularity makes them a prime target for hackers. Avast sees IoT attacks as one of the biggest emerging threats in the realm of cybersecurity. Bringing smart products into your home also brings a variety of potential concerns. Some are basic privacy concerns. Is Miss A always listening to me? Some are concerns related to location and behavior tracking. You may be surprised to learn just how much information your smart home can reveal about you. For instance, something as seemingly innocuous as your smart thermostat holds the secret to your daily patterns. When you're home and when you're not. That info exists for anyone who knows where to look. Gizmodo recently published a fascinating story called The House That Spied on Me, a must-read for anyone who embraces smart home technology. Because the smart home technology is so popular, lots of companies want a piece of the pie. Many of these internet-connected devices are built by product and service-oriented companies, not by network security experts. Security may not be their primary concern, but it needs to be yours. All it takes is one vulnerable product to put your entire home network at risk. So what's the solution? Here's the good news. Security-minded companies like Avast are also paying more attention to IoT devices, developing the best methods to provide the protection that consumers need. IoT devices present different security challenges than computers and mobile devices in that they are closed devices. You can't load third-party security protection onto a smart TV or a webcam, as you can with a PC. Instead, Avast is looking at ways to monitor these devices' network activity. What are they doing? Who are they talking to? And how often? If that IP printer of yours suddenly starts talking to new and unusual sources over the network, that's a big red flag that the device has been compromised. Just as you can expect to see many more smart devices enter the market, you can also expect to see a new crop of security-related services designed to monitor them. This is Avast's answer to help protect all things that connect wherever they connect. It's called Avast Omni. Avast's answer to your smart home protection, Avast Omni, is a new type of security. It combines both hardware and software. Omni protects you everywhere you connect, regardless of how you connect.
We've entered a new age of online security. It's no longer just our computers and phones we need to protect. A growing number of things we depend on every day are connecting to the internet. Your smart TV, your thermostat, your cameras, and everything else in your smart home was not built with security in mind, putting your sensitive personal information at risk of being stolen. And in today's fast-moving world of next-generation cyber threats, even your physical safety can be at risk. A different approach to security is needed to protect you and your family in all aspects of your online life. Introducing Avast Omni, a new type of security for your connected life. Avast Omni is easy and all-inclusive. All you need to do is connect the Avast Omni hub to your existing router, install the app, and your entire connected world is now protected, from your home and its connected devices to your family, everywhere they go. The Omni app gives you full visibility of your smart home so you can be sure it's safe. If any unusual behavior is detected, you'll receive an alert wherever you are, so potential intruders can be immediately blocked. And Omni protects you outside the home. Avast Omni gives you powerful malware protection for all your portable devices to keep you safe from the latest threats, wherever you connect to the internet. You can't control what's on the internet, but with Avast Omni, you can control how your children use it. Set limits on screen time, block inappropriate content, and get immediate peace of mind with our locator map that sends you alerts when your child reaches their destination safely. Protect your connected world with Avast Omni. Security everywhere you connect.
So where can you get Omni? Simple, go to the website. How much does Omni cost? The last time I checked, it was $49.99, and that included free delivery of the hub, which is what connects to your router. Remember, this is a combination of both hardware and software. For the balance of this presentation, it's perfectly okay for you to unmute yourself. I just wanted you to know that I've entered the Snapdragon part of my life. Part of me has snapped, and the rest of me is dragging. You know you're getting old when a recliner and a heating pad is your idea of a hot date. 5 tips for a woman. It is important that a man helps you around the house and has a job. It's important that a man make you laugh. It is important to find a man you can count on and doesn't lie to you. It is important that a man loves you and spoils you. And it is extremely important that these 4 men don't know each other. If you can't find a job, it's okay. Blame the government. This is the very first cordless drill. There comes a time in our lives when we have to admit it is time to retire. A wise man once told his son, "My boy, when you accumulate the understanding to know why a pizza is made round, to be put in a square box, and is eaten in triangles, then and only then will you be able to understand women."
How true.
Honey, have you seen my box of laxatives? They look just like those little chocolate Easter eggs. Did you know that on the Canary Islands, there is not one single canary? And on the Virgin Isles, same darn thing, not one canary there either. I started doing these presentations back in 2010. Never figured I'd be still doing them right now. I don't work for Avast, but I have a good arrangement with Avast. They pay all of my expenses from the second I leave home until I get back. Of course, since March of last year, the only place I've gone is from one room to the other. There have been no trips. I haven't visited any clubs because all clubs are meeting virtually. Avast has not put a stop on my making in-person presentations, but you can't visit somebody who's not available. My presentations are always designed for the average computer user, not for the geek. If you know of any other clubs, organizations, churches, or synagogues that would benefit from a presentation, please have them contact me and I'd be happy to arrange a program for them. Remember, there's never a charge to the club or its members for my services. That's where Avast comes in. If you learned something today, if you enjoyed the presentation, please let Lena at Avast know about it. That's how these presentations continue. If you didn't like the presentation, it's okay to tell her that also. And that's enough of this sales pitch. The link at the bottom of this slide, click on it, copy it, take a picture of it. It will give you access to most of what we talked about today. I will also be sending out a follow-up email that'll go to Scott and Judy. It will contain this information, many other things. It will also contain a link to a pre-recorded presentation that was done at the end of January. So if you missed something today, you can always go back over it at your own pace. I can tell you that if that will not be exactly the same as today's presentation. I always update the presentations as new things occur. Besides, on some days, I do a better job than on others. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll now be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
I want to encrypt the PDF file and send it to somebody. How do I do that?
Unless you have a program that does encryption, you can't. Unless you're using a VPN, then everything that goes from your computer is automatically encrypted until it gets to its destination. So that's another place you could use a VPN to encrypt things. It happens in the background. And if somebody else intercepts it, won't do them any good. They don't have a key to unlock it.
Does Windows offer encryption then?
Yes, they do, and no, they don't.
I've been a little afraid of security companies and like this, all of these programs that you're proposing, they would know absolutely everything about you, all your passwords, everything for these programs. Is that totally safe?
If you pick a company that's reputable, yes. All of those programs I talk about are programs that I use and have used for quite some time.
And what is your background? Would you share that with us, please?
I was a banker before I retired. I've been involved with computer security for many, many years. I am still very active on the Avast Customer Support Forum, which is a voluntary thing, not something we get paid for, where I answer many, many questions on lots and lots of topics.
Thank you.
Do you
Yes.
need a separate VPN for each one of your machines, each laptop?
It depends on the license that you have.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Because there are different licenses that cover different scenarios. Anyone else?
Bob, I had a friend who had problems with a third-party security system. I think it was Norton. And one of the problems I ran into is when she wanted to change to a different system, the previous system, I believe it was Norton's, really interfered with being able to install the new antivirus program. What is her best approach?
The link that I shared in that last slide, which will be part of what I share with you in the follow-up email, right? The first part of it is devoted to exactly that. How do I get rid of what I currently have before I install something else? The only exception to that rule is if you're on Windows and you have Defender, Defender totally shuts itself off when you install any third-party antivirus. So it's the one item you don't need to uninstall. Anything else you have to totally remove before you can install something else. And my instructions cover the removal tools for all of those. If you don't find it on there, you probably have an antivirus that's a virus, not an antivirus. Remember, there are phony antivirus programs.
I have a question. I feel that my computer is pretty secure, but I'm still very concerned about my cell phone. And you talked about that secure browser that Avast has. Does that take care then of all security problems with the cell phone?
No, that's just the browser.
Oh, just the browser.
Right.
I
Now,
refuse to do any banking because I just don't feel that my cell phone is secure. I always go to a computer to do my banking.
Same difference. Dorothy, what kind of a cell phone is it? Is it an Android or an iOS?
iOS.
iOS, you're totally dependent on security portions through patches that you get from Apple. There is no third-party antivirus.
So I'm still safer than to do things that I'm concerned about on my computer where I know I am covered.
If you're using the secure browser from Avast, number one, it isolates you, and number two, on the iOS and Android devices, it comes with a free VPN built into the product. So you have encryption besides having the isolation.
Bob, isn't it true that if she's using an iOS device on her cellular network, not on a Wi-Fi, that she is working on an already encrypted connection?
That's correct.
Okay, cellular is good, Wi-Fi not.
Open Wi-Fi is not. Wi-Fi at home is fine because that's your secure network. Wi-Fi given free at a hotel or any place else where they offer free Wi-Fi is not. That's where you need a VPN, unless you're going through your cell service.
All
That's
right.
secure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Anybody in the room have a question? I'll relay it. I have a lot of heads nodding that they don't have a question. You had a pretty complete presentation.
If you have any ones afterwards, you know how to get in touch with me. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Will we be
ahead.
receiving these slides in a email PDF?
No, not the slides. You'll have access to a pre-recorded presentation, but not the slides. They won't be available until after I do my APCUG security presentation, October of this year. That's when they'll be available as slides. But you can always take pictures if you watch the video.
That's right. You can make your own slide deck.
That's correct.
Just hold your camera steady.
In what you send, will that have a lot of those addresses that you just had on your slides?
In the video you're talking about?
No, what you're going
The follow-up, yes.
Follow up to Scott.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I tried to write them down, but I don't think I got complete addresses for everything that
Yeah,
I
I was
wanted.
doing the same thing, Dorothy, but usually when Bob does this, he'll send an email out to us afterwards that I'll share that will have all of that written in there so you don't have to write down all of those URLs.
That's correct.
Oh, good here.
Okay, well, thanks again, Bob. It was a great presentation, almost as nice as having you in the room with us.
Yeah, but it's warmer if I'm there in person.
It is a lot warmer.
Yep.
We'll put in a plug for our Apple users group that's meeting Tuesday because I'm leading a discussion of taking good pictures with your iPhone. So you can tune in at 9:30 next Tuesday for that. And of course, we'll be back on here next Thursday, same time, same back channel. And Judy told me who we're going to be seeing. I have it written down. I just tried to lick my lips for my mask. That didn't work. Oh, yeah. We're going to be learning about the cloud.
How do we get on the group list for the Apple users group? I've never gotten a notice for that.
If you're on Facebook,
I'm not.
you're out of luck.
Oh, okay.
We have not yet developed a way to do it both ways. I will work on doing it Zoom. If you're in the park, we meet here in Royal Hall. But you can send me an email and I will try to find a way to get that information out to you other than Facebook.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day, everybody.
Yep, thanks much. It was great.
All right, thanks for having me. Hope to see you in person next year.
Great presentation.
Thank you.